we will see about unit testing. While coming to the unit testing, first we will see what is unit testing, and we will see the complete overview of it. First, generally, how do we test the code? um, First we write the code. First we write the code, and then we run the code. After writing the code, we need to run the code. And then finally we examine the results of the code. This we will do while coming to the manual testing. Here, what is the wrong with it? Generally, it requires human interactions and analysis. Test case is not producible sometimes, and we cannot automate the code or test. What if you wanted to produce a report of the test results? The main drawbacks are we cannot produce report of test results. And sometimes test case is not reproducible. And it requires more human interactions and analysis. So what we do now, we can go for the unit testing. It is nothing but okay, here it is the manual testing. Well, coming to the unit testing, it is nothing but testing the individual unit of code. It's like testing individual unit of code. And we will provide a fixed inputs every time we test with the given input and what is the result. And expect the known results. So like suppose if we have if we have written a calculator class, suppose we have a calculator utility, which has the function like adding of two numbers int a comma int b. The result will get in the form of a int. Let's suppose it would be a class. Now we will write the test cases for it. With different inputs like suppose I am testing with the input add 1 comma 2 1 comma 3, so we will get always a specific output as 4. Like that we will just every time whenever we are executing this add method 1 comma 3 we will get the 4. Suppose if we are adding some 0 comma 0, then every time we should get 0. If other than 0 we are getting, then it is an error, then our test case is failed in that scenario. Every time we should return 0. Let us consider one more example here. Suppose if we have a string utilities class something, what this class main functionality is to capitalize the input. We have a method whatever the data we get we need to convert to the capitals and we need to return the output. So here we simply know if we write some test cases for it, like test case is nothing but if you can consider it as a like some class which consisting of all the methods which we are going to test as a each individual method, suppose with different inputs you may consider as, suppose I am calling the method capitalize input so I am passing hello, so the expected result is always here the capital of hello. What if I am passing all capital letters? In this scenario we need to get only capital hello. What if we pass a null value? Then it should return null. Means here we need to first know what will be the value which we will get for a specific input. Here we need to write one more if condition in this method, like if object is null then we need to return the null. If object is not null then only we need to perform the string dot to uppercase, otherwise we will get the null pointer exception. We are performing some operation on the null. Like what benefits we get with the use of the unit testing? Benefits of like we can automate the tests, and we can identify the bugs. Like we can lower the bugs, like fewer bugs and higher readability. Like what are the basic requirements for this unit testing is, like we can do the DevOps and build pipelines and continuous integrations. Like basic requirement for unit testing. Which we can achieve is like DevOps and building pipelines. And like CI/CD, we can automate the CI/CD pipelines. Nothing but a continuous integrations or continuous deployment. So let's revise what we have discussed here. Like while coming to the manual testing, we write the code, we run the code and examine the results. Like we have the fewer drawbacks while coming to the manual testing. Like we cannot produce a test report of the test results. Sometimes a test case is not reproducible. Like here the manual testing requires more human interactions and more human analysis. So while coming to the unit testing, we can test individual unit of a code. Like we need to provide a specific input to a specific test case and expect the known results. Suppose if we have a calculator utility, like in that we have a method like adding a comma b, adding two variables. Suppose if we pass a 0 values to the method, always it should return 0. If you pass some integer values, it should return by adding the two integer values. Similarly, we can consider the string utils. Like we have a method which will capitalize the input. Based on the input, if the object is not null, then it should return the uppercase of the specific input which we are providing. If we are providing a null, it should not throw any null pointer exceptions or anything, just it should return the object. Like the main benefits what we can achieve with unit testing is we can automate the tests, we can lower the bugs, and with the help of the unit testing we can do the CI/CD easily. Now we can go for the integration testing. Like what is an integration testing? Like testing multiple components together. Integration means nothing but combining, we can say. Testing multiple together and test. Like, and we need to check if our piece of code works together as expected. Code works together as expected. Like we need to identify the negative side effects due to the integration. Means identify if any negative side effects due to the integration. Can test means we can test using the mocks and stubs. Like we can achieve integration by using can test using mocks or stubs. We will discuss what are mocks and stubs. And we can also test with the live integrations like database, file systems, like testing using live integrations like database, file systems, and many more, etc. We will discuss about unit testing frameworks. Like we have JUnit, Mockito are most famous unit testing frameworks. JUnit, Mockito. Like with the help of the JUnit, what we can do is it like support creating the test cases. It supports creating test cases, and it automates the test cases with pass or fail report status. Automation of the test results means we will get the test results only after the test cases are designed with pass or fail status. To generate the test reports. With the help of the Mockito, we can create mocks and stubs. We can minimize the dependencies on external components. Like any IDE will support the JUnit. Tools, any IDE, any preferred IDE like Eclipse, IntelliJ, and any other thing. So to start with the JUnit, first we need to focus on the JUnit fundamental concepts like how do we define a test, how the JUnit assertions are done, how do we run the tests. So we will discuss one by one. Let us take only this example and we will write like calculator utils as an example, and we will write the test cases for it. First I'll open the IntelliJ IDEA. I'll create a new project, Maven project, like Spring Boot. Unit testing. I'm creating a workspace and creating the project. Here I'm creating the group ID as com.learning .JUnit, and I'm creating the project. For the development process, first we need to add steps required are first step is add Maven dependency for JUnit, and next we need to create a test package in the same project and create a JUnit like unit test case and run the unit test. To add the dependency, first we will go to the form.xml. Here we need to add the dependencies. Open the Maven repository, Apache Maven, sorry, while coming to the JUnit, the latest version is JUnit Jupyter. Just we can go for JUnit Jupyter. It is the aggregation of both engine and API. We can take any version. I am considering 5.12.2 as the dependency. I'll copy and paste in the dependencies, and I'll refresh the Maven. So here my red symbol is gone, the error symbol is gone, so this dependency is available in my workspace. Now I'll delete this main file and I'll create one class which is nothing but calculator utils. So in this we will write one method known as add, like as we discussed, it is a public method, add a comma b, then it should return a plus b. Here public spelling is wrong. Okay, I am turning off my AI. Okay, the next step is, after adding the dependency, we need to create a test package. Here the test package we need to, already it is available, we need to create the same package, com.learning.junit, so it is automatically recognized by without mentioning the specific package for the file which we are going to execute as a test file. I'm just going to create a package, com.learning.junit, and here I need to create one class known as, I'll create with the same class name and mentioning test at the end of the class file. test. So next we need to create a unit test case. So first we will annotate a method with @test from org JUnit Jupyter. So when we mention this annotation as the test, then whatever the method we define after this annotation will be considering as a unit test. So I just want to test equal or not, my input is equal or not, like void test equal and not equals. I know already any return type for it, just I want to execute, that's the reason I'm keeping it as a void. So first I will initiate the calculator utils, new calculator utils. So before executing I need to know what is the expected result. Is nothing but 3. If we see here, we have defined a calculator utils method and a method add. I am just passing 1 and 3 as input. The expected output should be 4. So that's the reason I am keeping the expected result as 4. And next we need to execute int actual result is nothing but we need to call calculator utils dot add 1, 3. So the actual result is stored in this actual result variable. Now we need to check whether the actual result is equal with expected results. That's the reason we need to use this assertion class present in Jupyter API package dot assert equals. Assert equals, what it will do is just it will check whether the expected result is same as actual result. What we need to show, if both are not equal, we can mention it as a message like 1 plus 3 must be 4. So now I can execute this test. Just click on this run button. We will get the output. Yeah, here it is passed. Now we will modify the expected result as 5. Now the test case should fail because actually the function is returning 4 but we are expecting 5. Again we will run the test. Now if we see, our test is failed. Here it is showing 1 plus 3 must be, sorry, here I did not mention the 5, sorry, it should be 4 only, but we have modified the expected result, so it is showing like what is the expected result is 5 and what actually we got is 4. Here we can see the status of the test. Okay, thank you.